sunshine. Grab your coffee cup, come spend some time. I know it's early, the start of a new day.
Mamas and papas, thank you so much.
It's Local Cafe. Rise and shine, baby. Wake and bake. Clear out your mind, baby. Just take a break. Local Cafe. Chill out with us today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest in the entire LCU. You're watching Local Cafe. So we had the fake Wings of Redemption in chat. If that's a burner account for you, Wings, why in the fuck can't you spell redemption correctly? I can't. Anyways, I appreciate everybody being here. Peyton and James already with the 5 beans. We miss you. The LCU had a weird void. Ken did an amazing job while you were gone. This is the second best show in the LCU. Good morning, everybody. You know, the band is back together. And before we bring in my beautiful co-host, just wanted to shout out Mama's the Boss with the membership for 2 months special in the LCU. Thank you, Ken and Beans. So, as y'all know, we're here. We're in it to win it. We're going to make it happen. And the band is back together. So let's bring in my beautiful co-host, Miss Beans. Good morning, Mrs. Beans. How are we doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. So first of all, let me address the lighting situation. So apparently I forgot that I took my little light box that I use for regular lighting on the trip because I was trying to film some content, and I think I left it in Grimm's car. So for today, I have my Samsung Fold on top of my monitor with the flashlight pointing at me, and we'll just see how that goes.
Hey, whatever works, right? So, yeah.
Exactly.
Glad to have you back, Miss Beans. I know the chat missed you. I missed you. You know, Batgirl did an amazing job, but you know the fans want the band back. You know, they want the OGs, right? So, you know, we definitely made it happen. But shout out to Batgirl. She did an amazing job sending in for you.
Exactly. She did an amazing job, but you know, you can't have cafe without Ken and Beans.
You gotta grind those beans to have coffee. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm a little frazzled because right after driving for 19 hours or 20 hours straight, I come home, I take a little nap, and then right at 4:00 in the morning, I have to go to work, and I was only there for 2 hours. Ooh. So I think there might be a career change in the plans for me. But I'm glad to have my cafe and to be a little bit more awake than usual.
Facts. Well, we're definitely happy to have you back. Definitely some interesting stuff after the fat camp. This is your first time on screen to be able to talk about things, and we'll definitely get into that. But I think the fans want what they want, what we normally start out with. You know what that is, Miss Beans?
Is it the Daily Espresso?
That it is. Let's get into it. The Daily Espresso. Oh, shit. Well, we got 2 beautiful donators, you know, during that. Karina Rue with the 20. Good morning, beautiful Beans and Ken. Welcome back, Beans. There it is. And Doja re-upped his pay pick for 2 months. Welcome home, Beans. I'm happy to have you all back in your element. Cafe Cult. You damn right. And then Peyton and James with the 5 gifted members. Thank you, Peyton and James. We definitely appreciate that. Speaking of members, we finally got the video from Twiggy, so we can upload it here soon. We just got to add in the 2 reactions to the cooking, and then we'll be able to upload it. Now, the problem is my audio is not the best because the microphones we were using, they did the best they could. It was definitely better than regular phone audio would be, but or camera audio would be. So just bear with us on that one. This is our first time doing it. A lot of lessons learned. But thank you, Twiggy, for getting that to me. I really do appreciate you. And the always faithful Duck Savannah with the Canadian 2. Welcome back, Beans. Oh, it's coffee time.
I'm so glad to be back.
Hell yeah.
Everything feels normal. The delay is not so bad.
Yep.
Just, I can have coffee in my cup and it's not sucky coffee from a broken coffee machine. It's all good.
Hell yeah. Are you drinking Cafe Bustelo?
Hell yeah. I went back to basics and I got Bustelo in my little Bucky's cup that I got in the trip, and I didn't realize how big it would be compared to my head, but I think that's a normal thing, especially with my microphone.
Yeah. You are a tiny human being. I can honestly say that. I have the Starbucks Costco house blend, whatever you want to call that, in my cup. So we're just trying to get caffeine in the system right now. But
you know what would make my day, Ken?
What's that, Miss Beans?
Seeing the famous Big Bear Eagles, Jackie and Shadow, and their 2 little chickadees.
Well, let's get into that. So, as y'all know, as I've been covering it, babies are getting huge right now. They are definitely growing. Their feathers are coming in beautifully. The beaks are starting to get yellow. So it is awesome. Here we go right here. So you can see my mouse pointer, but yeah, we're starting to get yellow in the beaks. So they're definitely coming of age. Right now, 7 o'clock in the morning for them, still sleeping. At this point, Jackie and Shadow can, leave the nest and all is well. They're not too scared of it, because since they are getting bigger, prey's less likely to really attack them. They can also start to defend themselves a little bit. So, because they weren't the babies. I think it's amazing. We've literally followed this story while they were still in the eggs. And now look at them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're
so cute and tiny.
They definitely are. When was the last time you saw the eagles, Beans? Do you remember how small they were?
Yeah, they were really small. Their fur was not as dark for feathers. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever you want to call
they
it.
Get pretty furry looking
Yeah.
when they first get born. But yeah, I'm glad to see that we still have the 2. I know that we had some bad news before with the 3rd one, but that's just how nature plays out. And I feel pretty positive about, the future of the remaining.
Definitely. And like I said before, so it's basic. Yeah, so they're all sleeping the rest of it. I was going to go back a little bit. But like I said before, it's sad what happened to the other one, but it's nature. It just is what it is. But, thankfully we got 2 out of 3. And, Jackie and Shadow can finally leave a legacy for the world to continue to watch. Justin Masters, an amazing human being with the 10. Just got notification that my hoodie arrives today. Let's fucking go with the cafe hoodie. Can't wait to represent the chillest part of the LCU. Hashtag coffee cult. I appreciate you, Justin. Thank you for buying that hoodie, sir. Another faithful of mine. So I'm going to say this real quick before we get into the news. I went into the Discord before the stream, and I went into every single level, and I tagged the cafe crowns, the cafe pay pigs, and then the cafe, cows in Band World. And I just wanted to thank them for their continued support for us. I know there's been a lot of talks, a lot of speculation about Keem and some of the smaller channels. And, we got that coffee coming out. So, knock on wood, we're not on the chopping block. We can get a little bit longer. But no matter what, I just want you guys to know that whenever the cafe journey ends, y'all mean the world to Mean Beans. I know I can speak for her when I say this. Y'all mean the world to us. Y'all helped us keep this platform, give y'all a different taste of what the LCU can be. And we greatly do appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Exactly. I think that we all know that good things come to an end eventually.
Yep.
Not everything lasts forever, but I feel like I can speak on behalf of both of us when I say that this has been a ride, and we're going to ride it out as long as possible. There have been a lot of ups and downs, especially with Fat Camp.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the cafe, I think that we really appreciate our members, our viewers, even the lurkers, even the haters.
Oh yeah.
They probably are one of the most I don't know, just the best part of my day. Sometimes I stream and then like afterwards I'm just like, I want to stream again just to see people. Or like I'll hop into VCs and I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm back again.
Yeah.
Ready for another stream, even though it's tomorrow, 24 hours later. I don't know. But in general, like I'm just so happy to be in the cafe once
Me
again.
too.
And whenever it ends, it's going to end and that's okay. But I don't think that's anytime soon because we got our own coffee. We got some giveaways coming up, and I think there's another surprise. I can't put my finger on it, or maybe I'm just speaking into the universe for a giant thing to come along, as well as the coffee.
You can't do it. So just as a reminder,
So far, the universe has been listening to me because there was one time during Fat Camp, I spoke into the universe and I was like, hey, universe, this bad person that is around our vicinity, can you make them fall off of a bike and scrape their knee? And you know what happened? Exactly that. So I'm going to say that the universe loves me, the universe listens to me, and the universe is going to do the best for the cafe.
facts. By the way, real quick, I see people in chat talking shit about the thumbnail. So here's the thing, right? Spook Monkey has been an amazing person trying to, hook us up with some thumbnails because Beans predominantly does the thumbnails because I have zero creativity. So Spook Monkey made one because Chibi Art's been kind of going through there, and in the Discord, people have been taking pictures and making them into like Chibi Art or like Muppets or something. So he just wanted to help out a little bit. So shout out Spook Monkey. I don't give a fuck what these people say. That the AI thumbnail is beautiful. You did an amazing job, and the fact that you wanted to donate your time to help us out, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I thought for the return of Beans, you know what I mean? A little bit different art style would have been good compared to me, my Grizzly Adams ass. So thank you, Spook Monkey. I do appreciate you. And last but not least, Peyton and James, welcome to Band. Thank you, Peyton. So speaking of the giveaways, if you're Crown or Pay Pig, Beans has the signed uncut sheets of so there's one of Keem and then there's one of Keem and Boogie, but that card is there we go. It's Keem, Boogie, and Wings from the last pack. So we're gonna be doing a giveaway. We're gonna do a spin wheel, kind of like Zayzuda did that one time, a spin wheel for Crowns and Pay Pigs, and whoever wins it gets to pick which one they want, and I will mail it to them. And then I can't remember.
We have those. We have as well as real quick. So remember, every channel got like a couple of these like 3D printed.
Oh, they look good, man. Oh, they look good.
They look so good. They look so good. I like how the gold just like really pops with the glasses. It just looks so freaking good.
And it frames the cafe.
So we got a couple of those. It does. This is the only thing that I'm mad about when it comes to the hoodie. Because it doesn't have like the whole cafe, but that's fine. The 3D printed like little logos have it. And we got a couple of these. I have to mail you the one that, is obviously yours. And then the other ones, I think I'm going to sign on the back and then you sign as well. And then we're going to mail them out to some people.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I also wanted to give a shout out for Holy Moly for doing these. He also gave me an extra of my logo, which is super duper cute.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I want to hang it somewhere, but I know I can hang it on the thing. Awesome. I'm so excited.
Love it when plans come together, Beans. Peyton and James, member for Bandward 1 month. We've been a member for a while, just YouTube not renewing the subscription. Don't hate the thumbnail, y'all. Don't forget to get the cafe merch. 100%. Thank you. I appreciate you re-upping your band world. Thank you so much. Brad the Don, you're an amazing human being for the cafe merch. We'll go ahead and pin this. Remember, guys, you get your hoodie, and then you get the T-shirt and the hat. So the T-shirt and the hat I believe they have the cafe above, just not the hoodie. But, I need to get my mom a hoodie. She definitely wants one. I'm going to get her one. And then I need to get the hat and the shirt so I can wear that on stream for you guys. But yes, definitely go in there and get your merch. It's beautiful. And real quick, Ash said the bean is cute, Beans. So Ash loves the little bean that they made, that Holy Moly made you. So, all right, let's get into this thing.
It just looks so unreal having it in my hand.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to mention, I did buy a hat from Locale TCG. The delay is not that bad, but it's still there, and I still have to remember it.
Me too. Me too.
So I bought a hat from Locale TCG. Let me see if I can reach. Oh, I pulled a muscle. So I bought a hat, and if you want to buy anything from Locale TCG, use the code below, or the link, I guess. It's localetcg.com/cafe.
Yep.
I got the hat. I've been wanting the hat. He sent me like some extra stuff. So he sent me some extra stickers, some extra cafe stickers, which are super cute as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he sent me like 3 packs of the Locale like set, the Valentine's Day set.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
so we can also include those when we do like little giveaways, because I feel like just the little logo, these thingies, is like a little too little for my taste, at least.
Yeah.
So we can include some of those as well.
If you want the like our cards, if you want to sign it, I can sign them too. We can do giveaways for those. We can just throw them in there for people if you want to. We can do that as well.
We're on the same wavelength.
Thank you.
We're on the same wavelength.
But yeah, also just real quick with Batgirl, you know, sticking in and literally being there whenever we need her to. She's been an amazing person. I'm mailing her my old microphone. It's the SM7B. I'm mailing her this as a thank you for helping us out, because
heck yeah,
when I listen to the stream with the 7DB, I sounded so much better, you know, and I think it's best because of my voice and how it projects for this one. So I'm gonna have this 7B microphone just sitting here. It's like a $400 microphone. I'm just like, hey, you want it, you can have it. This is a thank you to her for stepping in and helping us out. So you know, I try and do good for people. I know I'm a ticking time bomb, but you know, I try to help people whenever I can and do stuff for people. But allegedly
a ticking time bomb.
Allegedly.
Speaking of time bombs and just mischief in general, do you know what day it is, Ken?
Yes, it's the day after my birthday. It's April
That's
Fool's
also
Day.
true.
It's April Fool's Day.
It's April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever Keemstar was like, hey, we're gonna come out with your coffee on April 1st, which I don't even think it's gonna come out today. It's probably like sometime in this week or so. My hat.
Good job.
Whenever he said that our coffee was going to come out on April Fool's Day, I was like, oh, so he's joking. He's like not serious. But like as soon as I got the sample, I'm like, it took me weeks. It took me weeks to really solidify in my brain that this was happening for real.
Oh, yeah.
It was until I got the sample in my hand, I was like, okay, he's being serious, because there's coffee in my hands. I smell it. I taste it. We're all good. But I think that's the sort of idea a lot of people have when they heard that April 1st coffee.
Yeah. And so real quick, Beans is going to be mailing me some, because I got a little sample pack from Keem or whatever. So when I get it, I'm going to record a members only video of me ripping it open, smelling it. And I'm going to give my honest take, guys. I'm going to give my honest take. I promise you. And we'll definitely do that. I love butterscotch. I'm a big fan of butterscotch candy. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Exactly. We have the thumbs up from both Keemstar and Xylee. She was singing our praises for the coffee yesterday. For me, it's a little weak, but that's only because I drink like espresso coffee every single day.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice treat. I think that this Café Bustelo is always going to be like my morning pick-me-up.
Of course.
And then like that coffee is probably the coffee that I'm going to drink throughout the day in order to get like that flavor and that smell that I really like. But again, going back to today is April 1st, and let's do the horoscope for today. So today, an Aries born on April 1st is anything but a fool. Despite their connection to this questionable holiday, their quiet nature masks an ability to make the best of any situation. Although frequently centered on their own concerns in the way most Aries natives are, that's a weird way to phrase that Aries
is.
native.
That is.
They rarely ignore an opportunity to help or inspire others. So that's kind of going back to you. I know your birthday was yesterday, but this is birthday adjacent, I guess.
Yeah.
And that last line really corresponds to how you are. You're very helpful.
I try to
because
be.
you even sent me exactly. You sent me your last microphone, right? Like your first microphone, I think.
Yep.
I still need to mess around with that. Now that I'm home, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
have you got a have you got a mixer yet?
Oh, that was the thing that I needed to buy. Yeah, I need to get a mixer in order for the thing to work.
Like I said, I told this to Batgirl as well. The Road Streamer X is perfect. You can get them for like $180 on eBay. It has a capture card built into it for 4K 30, so you can actually do 10K 60. And it literally has one input for microphone. You can also do camera from the capture card as well. So you can do HDMI to that if you want to do a camera for a webcam instead. It's very useful. And it has like mute button, camera off button, things like that. And it has phantom power built in, even though for the microphone you have, you don't need phantom power. But it's there if you ever want to use it. It's awesome. It's small. You know, it fits on a desk well, doesn't take up a lot of space. And it's perfect for like a single microphone output. Perfect.
It sounds perfect. I'm definitely going to look into that.
Yep.
But speaking of this day in history, April 1st, in 1976, the Apple Computer Incorporated was founded by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Yeah, Wozniak. Marking the beginning of a technological revolution.
And that's why Apple will always be a joke.
I did not think of it that way. I forgot that today is April 1st and they were founded today.
Yep. So I know people love their Apple products, whatever. I get it. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, I definitely understand wanting to stay in the Apple ecosystem. They do a great job of integrating Apple products together. I got to give them credit. But I'm an Android guy through and through. I'm a Google person. It's fucking beautiful. My whole house is Google. I have Google Nest. I have Google like homes in every room. I'm a Google guy. I have a Google phone. My wife has a Google phone. Like we are Google people.
So I think Tom O said it best in the chat when he said Apple's Fool's Day instead of April. I think that was pretty funny.
That was fucking beautiful. April Fool's Day, everybody. I can't.
So apparently in 2001, the Netherlands became the first country to legalize same-sex marriage, setting a precedent for global LGBTQ plus rights. Lovely.
That is. Real quick, Kane's Corner, that mic, the 7B, absolutely needs phantom power because I have one. I was talking about my other microphone that I gave her. That's the one that doesn't need phantom power. Yes, the other one does need phantom power. That's why the DB has the preamp or the amp in there, so you ain't got to worry about it. But yes, I agree with you. It definitely needs phantom power.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? I lost it. But in 17, you're all fine. In 1748, the ruins of Pompeii. I'm not Greek, so I don't know. Greek? Was it Greek? Rome? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dummy.
That's Italian. Let's get it right, Beans. I can't. With the mixing of cultures.
I'm just trying to bait the haters because I know they missed me so much. When Batgirl and Buff Weeb were here, there was none of my haters in the chat, and I was trying to look for them. But now that I'm here, I'm trying to give them as much ammo as they need today because I need it. I want to get back to my roots of just the Beans love and the Beans hate. But they were discovered offering invaluable insights into the ancient Roman life.
Yeah. Though that's the thing I'll say, right? The Greeks and the Italians, you know, the history goes back because there's literally just a sea that separates them. You know, there's both mythology, the cooking is very similar, the ingredients are very similar, culture's very similar. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I have nothing against the Italians or the Romans, obviously, because they are kind of brethren. But the only thing I will say is they took Greek mythology and ruined it. But that's beside the point.
That's true. So somebody said Greeks are the Eastern Romans anyway. I don't know what you want to say to that, but
This is what I'm going to say, right? This is what I'm going to say. And, some may see this as like a risky joke. I don't know, but it's talking shit about Greek people. So I think I can say it since I am Greek. But I heard that Greeks were the Jews that got lost on the way to Israel. I've heard that before. Whenever, like back in biblical times when they were getting led to their land, the Greeks got lost and just kind of stumbled into Greece. You know what I mean? So I think that's
true.
I could kind of see that because there's a lot of similarities, right? But it would take like DNA tests and all that other shit to figure that out. But I can kind of see that though.
I can see that too. I think one of the most interesting things that we learned about in history was like the ice bridge and everything, like learning how we migrated from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
That was always like one of my favorites. And also whenever we learned about just American history, because American history, like even though we feel like it's been a long time, it's actually been a very short period compared to everybody else. We're kind of like a baby country.
Facts.
But speaking of babies, we can be like little babies and we don't have a lot of useless knowledge. So I'm going to give you that useless knowledge like a milk bottle.
Before you do that.
Because we're going to do, yes.
Turd Ferguson. Shout out SNL. Shout out Jeopardy. Shout out Sean Connery. WKN, I have a Galaxy and I'll never get an iPhone. My man, appreciate it. Not a knock on iPhone users, but Google and Galaxy are superior to me. I might get a Pixel next. So I was a Samsung Note guy for the longest time. The problem is when the Note 8 came out, they started exploding in people's hands. So at that point, because I got big hands, I like big phones, I went to the Google Pixel 2 XL because that was the biggest phone on the market. Been with Google ever since. Now, the Notes always had a problem with Google Maps. Always had a problem. Like you'd be driving down the road and then your dude would just start going to the right and just keep going to the right and your GPS would get fucked up. And I'm like, here we go with the Galaxy. But never had a problem with, Pixels. Never had an issue. They're beautiful things. And last but not least, Buff Weeb is in the chat, our newest host of a LCU show. So shout out.
We're going to talk about that.
We are going to talk about that. I just want to shout him out. But yeah, we are going to talk about that. But let's go, Miss Beans. Let's have at it. Useless facts.
Let's have at it. Useless facts. The average person walks the equivalent of 3 times around the world in their lifetime, assuming an average stride and walking for a certain amount of time each day. By the time a person reaches their 80s, they walked approximately 72,000 miles.
I want to know how many miles Boogie has walked in his lifetime.
Not much, I don't think.
Hey, you fat fuck. How much do you walk, bro? I can't.
I feel like that would be like an interesting challenge. I've seen some videos from Markiplier, I think it was. He did like I don't remember if it was like 10,000 steps for a day or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was something it's not that ridiculous because there was a period I think a couple months ago where I pushed myself to get 10,000 steps a day. But it would be interesting to see somebody like Boogie do that as a challenge. Like, hey, you have to get this many steps. He'll have to buy like some sort of walker or something because I know he doesn't go outside.
No, not at all. I think whenever I do like my part-time job at night, I always get an alert that I hit 10,000 steps and I'm like halfway done. And I'm like, I didn't even do this. But Kane's Corner with the 10 British pounds. If you like big phones, I recommend the Pixel Folds. I use one for work. Great in phone mode and amazing when unfolded for email, Slack, Jira, and etc. I'm still not bought into the folded screen. I'm not bought into that quite yet. Also, I swear by OtterBox phone cases. I think they're the best phone cases in the market. When I was in the Army, I only used OtterBox, and I can't talk. My phone went through some hell, through some beatings. No problems in the OtterBox. People say they're ugly. People say they're bulky. I don't care. If I have a $1,000 plus phone in a case, I want to make sure it's protected. I don't give a fuck what it looks like.
Exactly. Plus, if you have an ugly phone case, all you have to do is slap on a little sticker of cafe on it and you'll make it cute. Just saying.
You damn right.
But moving on to the next fact, there's a library in library. I always mess up on that word. There's a library in Sweden that contains all the world's knowledge. I would like to visit that one day. Do you like the smell of books, Ken?
No.
No.
No. I don't just fucking...
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
You know what I mean? Take the book and flip.
I do. A fresh book, you just open that ish up weird. And you just...
You're fucking weird.
I'm weird? No, one of the best smells is not even a fresh book, it's an old book. A really, really old book has like a certain smell to it that is... If I could have a candle that's just like old book smell, I would light that shit every day. It's just so good.
You're fucking weird. Know what my favorite smell is?
Weird,
know what my favorite smell is, Beans?
Get me on Mad Cafe. What? What's your favorite smell?
Warm vanilla sugar.
Interesting. I would think a man like you would like leather or like bourbon, like those like manly sounding smells.
I like sweet smells. I wasn't a sweet smell guy. Like back in the day, my mom had like the Yankee candles, and she would always get like the Christmas cookies or whatever it was, and always like use the scent during Christmas time, holiday time. So it's nostalgia for me.
That makes sense. Oh, Sterling said that she read 12 books last month. Books rule. Gosh darn. I need to read more. I think I've lost touch with my reading side.
So, you know what's funny about that? So my wife reads. She loves to read. That's her thing, right? So she'll read before she goes to sleep. And then she'll be like, I fucked up. It's like 4 a.m. and I've been reading all night. I need to try and get some sleep. I'm like, do you have a thing on your phone to stop you? She's like, yes, but I ignore it. I'm like, what's the point?
That's true. So something that I wanted to mention or spark a debate about in the chat is, do you guys like Kindles? I think that's what they're called, Kindles, the like virtual book device, or do you like fresh books in your hand? Because I like to have a book physically in my hand. I know that if I get a Kindle or whatever it's called, I would read more books because it's just like, whenever I got the Steam Deck, I've been completing more games. I feel like I would complete more books a lot quicker if I had a device specifically for reading. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel the same, you know? Like I need to smell the book. I need to feel the book. I'm not going to say taste the book, but if I could, I probably would.
Grim owes me a beard bite, by the way.
He does. We were talking about that on our way over here. He was like, hey, Ken said he was going to bite my beard. And I'm like, why are you mentioning this? I'm trying to take a nap.
Listen. He wouldn't let me get close to him.
I think the height difference was enough. Okay.
I think it's funny. People were saying like Billy and Xylee next to each other were hilarious. And they brought up me and you next to each other were hilarious just because of the size difference. It was kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of...
I was not joking. Whenever you first came into the cabin, you were saying hi to everybody, and I was like right next to Grim, and you legitimately like didn't even see me. That's how small I was compared to you. And then whenever we hugged, my face was like in your tummy, like not even in your chest. It was like between your tummy and your chest, and I'm like, oh, this is what being a munchkin is like, because shit, sign me up for Wicked Movie 2, because I can be a munchkin in that.
Yeah. That's hilarious. But no, yeah, I enjoy meeting you. Our IRL streams, I think we're fucking amazing. I think we are probably one of the few channels that still has cohesion after Fat Camp, if you think about it. I mean, literally, Lockout Life lost wings. Queens lost wings. Queens, I mean, Becky and Tina are Becky and Tina. You got Milkers, they let go of Psycho Mom. And then you have, was it Madhouse? Madhouse didn't go, so whatever. Then you have Aussie, Twiggy, and Rastoff going at each other's throats, which we'll see. Test, they maintained, right? Even though Nightmare was fired for a bit, they maintained. What show am I forgetting? Oh, Rewind. So Rewind, they had
Nerds.
nerds. Well, we'll get into that one too. And then, yeah, 2 hosts got fired and a new host got put on Nerds. And then Rewind, they're good. Yeah. So us and Rewind are the only people or the only shows that maintain cohesion.
That maintained cohesion and was left alone because, you know, with Test and the whole nightmare situation, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But so, like I said, I've been driving. Well, not me. It was Grim. Grim is a G. He's been working so hard, and then he freaking has to drive 20 hours straight. And I'm just like in the passenger seat, just like taking a nap every second. I developed car, like, I was gonna say necrophilia. That is not the word.
No. Why'd you even say that, man? I can't.
I don't know, my brain. So narcolepsy. I feel like I developed like car narcolepsy because every like 5 minutes I would just like fall asleep for no reason. It was just like, I guess, the smoothness of his car, unlike my car, which is a Prius that has like 300,000 miles on it, that like every pebble feels like a huge bump. But yeah, so Grim worked really hard, and then he's driving 20 hours. I lost what I was going to say.
Beautiful. So Khan let us know that Bunny is officially the second host of Madhouse. So congratulations, Miss Bunny. That is beautiful. You definitely deserve it. I think you fit in very well with Madhouse and that whole thing. And Tech Talk is in chat. I'm curious who this is.
I'm pretty sure it's Jack.
Are they still Tech
It could
Talk?
be Tech
though?
Protect. Wait, Tech Talk?
Yeah, and they have the logo and everything. So I don't know who this is.
I'm curious as well, but I got what I was going to say. So driving 20 hours, Grim, and me just in the car. And then I had to take like a quick nap and then go to work at like 4 a.m. And I pretty much missed, like, I watched some of Rewind. I watched a little bit of Test whenever I woke up. But that in-between spot, apparently a lot has happened. So I'm so excited to see what happened, because apparently it was a big one. But before we get to that, let's go to I Can't with Ken and Beans, because I can't wait for that information that we're going to give out to the public.
When you set your phone alarm for AM instead of PM and wake up at noon wondering what happened. Yeah, that is trash, bro. I've done that before. Now I'm to the point where I like set multiple alarms just in case. You know what I mean? That way at least one gets me. But I hate when that shit fucking happens. It's trash.
Me too, but I'm the type of person that sets multiple alarms because I'm like, okay, I can sleep through the first one, but it kind of wakes me up. The second one is like to really like wake me up, and then the third one is for me to actually get out of bed. Like, I'm that type of person, because if I set one alarm, I'm sleeping through that bitch.
What some people do is they'll put their phone or alarm, whatever, on the other side of the room, so they have to force themselves to get out of bed to go get it. And then other people do like a calculator thing where you have to answer like 10 math problems to turn your phone alarm off.
If I have to answer math questions in order to stop my alarm, that is going to ring for the entire day. You already heard me when I was talking about freaking Greek, freaking Roman. I can't. I barely got sleep. I'm still trying to get to normalcy. And now you're making me do math. Hell nah.
Hell yeah. Duck Savannah again with the Canadian too. I love you, bro. I pray for the Aussie boys. Hope they stick together. We'll get into that because I have some opinions about a lot of that, and we'll make it happen. Also, Tech Talk is an April Fool's Day joke, by the way. They said that in chat earlier. I didn't even think about it.
Happy April Fools.
We appreciate that. And then someone asked, is Eric really fired? 99% sure yes. But again, we'll get into that one as well.
He's fired from Nerds. He's not fired from the LCU altogether, apparently.
Better way to put it. Yep, 100%. And then the next one, when your sock slips down inside your shoe and now you have to do that awkward limp of discomfort. I'll take my shit off and fix my sock. I don't give a fuck. I refuse to do that. I'll go a step further with this. So whenever I'm wearing like my Crocs, and I have short socks on, like their ankles, they always get put underneath my foot. So I'm always having to fix the sock. That sucks. That really sucks.
That sucks. I can't with you today.
That sucks. I can't. My wife actually took me out shopping, got me some Levi clothes because that's pretty much all I wear is Levi's, and she got me some new Air Force Ones, all black. So that was fucking beautiful. I appreciate it for that one.
Yeah.
And
so you mentioned Crocs. I don't think I'll ever own a pair of Crocs in my life. They are so ugly. I don't think they're comfortable enough to justify their ugliness. I'm a Croc hater.
So how can I go? So we were at Walt Disney World, right? Or Disneyland, whatever it is in Florida. And I love the hat. And
looks so big for my head.
Her feet were hurting her very badly because of the shoes. So we went into a gift store and they had Walt Disney Crocs. And I said, I will literally buy you I swear by Crocs. Look, I owned Crocs before they were cool. I used them for shower shoes when I was in the Army in the late 2000s. That's when I owned Crocs. Like I got them before they were cool. But anyways, I digress. We went into Walt Disney store, the merch store, and they had a pair of Crocs there. And they had her size. I said, I'll buy these for you right now. She said, no, I refuse. I'm like, your feet are killing you. You can barely fucking walk. Let me just buy you these. And I'm like, who cares? No one knows you here. Just do it for comfort. So she gave in. Yep. It changed her. Now she owns Crocs, but not like the stereotypical one. She has like different styles that don't look like Crocs. And she refuses to wear the normal Crocs outside of the house. But she does. I think she gave the Walt Disney ones to her mother, if I remember right. But they are.
I'll have to look into a certain Croc in order. Like, I really have to like the style, kind of like the Walt Disney. I'll have to like a certain style in order to get them. But eventually, maybe I'll get some Crocs, maybe not. Maybe I'll change as a person in my soul the moment I get Crocs.
Now, when people do like the pins and that bullshit, that's a little too far. That's a little too much. We don't do that. We don't do the pins and all that dumb shit. You know what I mean? Shoes aren't meant for pins. What are we doing? Last but not least, when you accidentally hit restart instead of shut down on your computer. That sucks.
That actually pisses me off.
Yeah. So I actually did that when I got the new Meta PC. MetaPC.com/Keemstar. Use code Keem for all your Meta PC needs. When I got my PC, I actually did that for the beginning. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Like I hadn't owned a PC in so long. And having the laptop was a little different than this one. I know it's the same in theory, but whatever. Definitely different. Definitely different. All this shit's definitely different. But the quote of the day. I'm almost out of coffee beans. The quote of the day is the secret.
Wait. You're almost out of coffee beans, or you're almost out of coffee beans?
The second one. I can't. Quote of the day. The quote of the day. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. You know what that sounds like to me? The other quote that says, 3 lefts make a right.
I think I get what you're trying to say. Kind of like how Grim hates this quote that some people at his. Today is a silly day. Today is April Fool's. But Grim hates this quote that a lot of people use at his job, which is, if it's good, it's good. He hates that quote. Because he's like, what do you mean if it's good? Of course, if it's good, it's good. Why are you're just saying the same thing twice. You're making sense, but also making no sense. Why is this a quote? Because if it's broke, it's broke. Like, what are you trying to say? I feel like sometimes people say things and try to be very philosophical with it.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's just not it. As the kids say, it's just not it.
It's not it. It's not it's not the ticket.
It's not the ticket. Close but no cigar. Let's bring back the old sayings. I think those are a little bit more creative and whimsy. But the secret of getting ahead is getting started. I think Boogie should take this quote and get ahead by throwing out all those Mountain Dews that he had.
He never will. But facts, I agree with you. I think one thing that sucked about, not really sucked, wrong word. One thing that kind of let some people down was Overt not really being involved in the streams. Because I know there was a lot of plans for him to like do workouts with them and do all this other stuff, and he really didn't do a lot. I mean, he did his cameos, yes, and he's a cool fucking dude, but it just kind of sucked that he didn't get a chance to like work out with them and do all that. So
yeah, try being, I don't want to say stuck, because stuck is like such a negative like connotation of the word, but being in a car with Overt for like, I think it was like 2 hours or something. So Grim and I had to take Overt to San Antonio to visit some family. From where we were to San Antonio is a drive, to say the least, but he has such like friendly big dog energy.
yeah,
That's just all, like, whenever I see him, I just think like a friendly big dog. Like, he's just so friendly and so nice to people, and like he just has like an aura to him that everybody just wants to gravitate. And I did not believe it until we stopped at a Buc-ee's to charge Grim's car. And the moment, legitimately, the moment that this guy's pinky toe landed on the floor, this Asian man that was charging his car next to us came up to him and started talking about like, hey, is this your first time at Buc-ee's? And they had like a 30-minute, what it seemed to be like a 30-minute conversation about briskets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does this happen to people? I'm very social when it comes to like camera, but as soon as you're in person, like I'm a very quiet-ish person.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you noticed, like at Fat Camp, I have a very small social battery. I'm getting better about it, and I can talk to people, I can work a room if I need to, whatever, blah, blah. But, you know, like I said, I'm the type of person, I'm not just going to interject myself in a conversation if I don't need to, right? If I have nothing to say, I'm just not going to say anything. It's nothing against anyone. It's just how I am as a person. But, you know, when they were doing their sleep streams, because there was the bedroom that everyone was in that was near, I guess, the front part when they were doing, then there was the other one that was near the theater room. I was in there sitting on the couch chilling. I was talking to Over. We talked for like, I think maybe 40 minutes. That's a cool dude, man. He is super cool, super nice, probably get along with any damn body he wants to. Really awesome individual.
He is super cool. I wish that he could have done more for Fat Camp, but I'm glad that I got that extra time with him whenever we were taking him over to his family members. I think that kind of, I didn't get a lot of time with him, but that kind of solidified like this small acquaintanceship. I would say friendship, just because like whenever I meet somebody, I'm just like, friend.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure he acquaintanceships as much as possible. What was I gonna say? There was somebody, a lot of people are talking about Becky for some reason in the chat.
Oh, that's probably because of me and her. I don't want to talk about her, man. I'm over. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. Here's the problem. I start saying the same thing I've been saying for the last like week, and it's just nothing new. So I'm just leaving it alone.
That's true.
I'll just say this one thing. When she did her apology to everybody and she brought me up, she has no idea why I've been saying what I've said and feel the way I feel. She has no idea. And I could tell that based on her apology. So that's why if she ain't gonna take the time and understand where I'm coming from, fuck it. I'm over it. But 'tis what it is.
That's true.
I'm gonna leave
to
that
lighten
one alone.
the mood. To lighten the mood just a little bit, you can look at me and just chuckle because this hat looks way too big for my head. I need to adjust it. This cup is way too big for my hands and my face.
Yes, it is.
I look like a baby trying to cosplay as a trucker right now.
Yep. Here's my hat. This is my Medicare hat that Keem signed for me from the camping trip. So I'm not really a hat guy, Beans. Do you think I'm a hat guy?
I'm definitely not a hat person, but as soon as I saw this hat, I was like, that's a cool looking hat, and it looks very trucker-like.
Kid behind the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell.
The kid behind the camera.
I look even more like a 13-year-old teenage boy than I already am.
Here's a thumbnail. I can't with that dude in the thumbnails.
So I see that we have like a new section of the Daily Espresso, which I absolutely love. So apparently you have cute video of the day now?
Yeah, I believe that was Carini, if I'm not mistaken, because we have Carini and Sterling in the docket team now. They've been fucking amazing. We still have the best docket team in the entire LCU. I don't care what anyone's outside the LCL, obviously. But yes, they are amazing people. We love them. Very professional, easy to talk to. The ladies gel well with Brad and Seek. They do awesome work together. So again, thank you. So yeah, this is the best thing I've seen today. Nature video. So it's only 48 seconds. I think we need a little bit of a palate cleanser to use this before we get into the stuff. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. From X. Check it out, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a little boy who's like walking on the sand for the first time.
I hope this music isn't copyright.
Yeah. If so, I'll just take it out. So yeah, basically the dog is with the little boy and walking right beside him, I guess, to help him balance and not fall. That is awesome.
That is so cute.
Yep.
There are some dogs that just have so much more patience whenever it comes to like little children, and I think that's the sweetest thing ever. If you know me, eventually I want to have kids. Not right now. I don't feel like the economy is ready for that, and I'm not either, and neither is Grim. But eventually we'll have some kids, and they're going to be the cutest little freaking things on the planet. But whenever I see a baby, one of the number one things that just gets me in that like cute aggression mood is like babies that have like really chunky like arms and legs. Like I just want to grab it and like freaking bite on it or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so cute. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah,
chunky babies. I love that.
Yeah, as y'all know, I want to be a father. That's like I said, the one thing I've left in this world, and then after that, I can go a happy man. We're definitely doing the full court press on it this year. Hopefully it does happen. We're praying for it, and y'all may actually see me cry when I finally tell the audience that we're able to do that, and I hope I can be forgiven and not called a bitch. But it is what it is. I don't care if it's about my kid. I'll do it. I don't care. But that's beside the point. Yeah, the people in chat, that was a good lab. You could tell that was an old soul because of the white in the snout and the mouth area. Definitely an old soul. And dogs and babies, if you look up just videos of dogs and babies, it's always super cute. You know what I mean? Like the dog playing with the babies and all that stuff. It's awesome. People. All right. Someone keeps saying, read Tina's comment about Becky. Miss Tina, if you could re-say which, I don't know what they're talking about. This is getting spammed in the chat right now. Miss Tina, if you could say what you said again, I'd appreciate it because I don't want to go through all that.
Well, apparently it's not Tina. Tina's sleeping. Apparently it's Albert on Tina's channel thingy.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh, well, whatever. Either way, I don't want to derail the show too much with that because it's already been an hour, Beans.
It has. Oh, geez. I was just having too much fun.
I know, right? Me too. Well, the band's back together, so time flies when you're having fun. But hell yeah! All right. Well, there's quite a bit of LCU drama going on. You want to go ahead and dive into that one?
Absolutely, because I need to know what happened while I was sleeping.
Hell yeah! But one thing I do want to do before we go, it's not going to be long at all. It's kind of breaking news. Evidently, there's a volcano in Iceland currently erupting as we speak. It's been going on for quite a bit. Again, we're not going to go too crazy deep into this, but since it is breaking news, I wanted to kind of talk about it. So,
goodness gracious.
There was a little bit of lava before that was showing up here, as you can see. Let's go ahead and there we go. So, yeah. And then you got stuff running down and everything. This was as of about 2 hours 46 minutes ago, this is what was happening with the volcano. So we had the one in Hawaii. Now we got this one. The funny thing is,
yeah.
Just real quick, when I was coming home from deployment, we were trying to fly back. We got stuck in Kuwait for a week because of a volcano in 2010, and we didn't have a change of clothes. We didn't have our gear. We didn't have anything. So we literally stayed in the same clothes for like a week and like slept on like concrete slabs and hangers and shit. And they had to do certain meals and all that for us to eat. And they'd give us like one MRE a day and all that. It sucked. But yeah, I just think it's kind of funny. This kind of reminded me of that because it's kind of in the same general region because of the ash and the soot and the smoke in the air. They shut down the fly zones. So we couldn't fly home because of it.
So that kind of reminds me of my anxiety. So remember the anxiety that I'd say I have and everybody thinks that is fake? So one of the things about my anxiety is that I'm watching you, Ken. One of the things about my anxiety is that I'll think about things that I shouldn't be that worried about. Like it's a very prominent thing that's going to happen eventually, but I probably shouldn't be thinking about it at this moment in time. So there's a volcano somewhere in America. I forgot where it is. But as soon as that erupts, it's going to spell disaster for everywhere. The soot is probably going to cover the entire sky. Everybody's going to die. I always think about that for some reason. And then I always think about an asteroid hitting Earth. And one of my biggest fears is the moment that happens, I'm going to be in the shower or a very inconvenient space, which is something I shouldn't be worried about because I'm going to die with the rest of the people. Nobody cares if I died in the shower.
Point, yeah.
Exactly. Yellowstone. Exactly. It's not fake beans. I recognize it. Oh, my anxiety. My anxiety is not fake. So the Yellowstone volcano, if that erupts, apparently everything's gonna go to all shit. Tina D said, we call it life, they call it anxiety. Apparently, there are some people in this world that don't worry about anything, and I wish to be that person, but I'm not that person. I'm the person that worries all the time, every day, all day. When I wake up, my watch tells me that I'm on high stress for some reason. And it's lovely. But speaking about high stress and just tumultuous events, locale universe. Where are we going to begin?
Real quick. Left Control Gaming said, at least you will be clean when you go.
That's very true. I don't know who's going to clean up my body after that, but the aliens.
At that point, it ain't going to matter. You know what I mean? But,
all Mad right. Cafe. I'm just kidding.
There it is. All right. So, where do we want to start? Again, shout out to our amazing docket team for this beautiful docket. It's fucking amazing. They were even at 9:30 before we were going, we were talking and they were just hurry up and getting clips for me and getting them in there. So again, thank you guys. I really do appreciate you. So I say we start with nerds. Did you watch any of Nerds yesterday?
Oh boy. Yes, I did. Because Grim and I were on the road and like I said, I developed some sort of not gonna say the other word, even though it's still in my brain. But I was falling asleep a lot. And Grim was also very tired because he was driving for a long time without any sleep. Yep. And the moment Nerds came on and the moment stuff started going down, we woke the fuck up. We were screaming, yelling in the car, we were replying as if we were in the Nerds VC or live on air.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because we know what happened at Fat Camp and we know things behind the scenes, right?
Yep.
So the moment that there's some people talking about certain events and talking about certain things they know, but they weren't there. Yep. I'm just girl, you need to sit down because you don't know what happened. And Glammy, this happened to Glammy and that happened to Glammy. And I understand where Glammy's coming from, but also Glammy needs to get on her shit too. I don't know. It was a lot. It was eventful.
Facts. I do want to say for the chat real quick, Beans did tell me I was boring yesterday and that my voice puts her to sleep. And then she said, thankfully, we had Batgirl and Buff Weeb to keep me awake, Ken. Thank you. I was like, well, okay, Beans, I appreciate the honesty. Thank you.
I didn't mean it that way. I was just saying that cafe is just a lovely experience. And I was just like, oh my God, your smooth voice. And then like, I don't know. Anyways, before I get even more trouble, let's move on to nerds.
I'm fucking with you. So real quick, Show Me Pet said, nerds did better than ever in views and donos yesterday, and it was chaos and wildly entertaining. There it is. Jump cut drama, no, we're not fighting. I'm just giving her shit for what she told me yesterday. That's all. Yeah. All right. So this quick recap. Keem wanted to put nerds on a hiatus or suspension until he figured out what the cast was going to be. This was Sunday. And then Keem said, unless y'all want to do a show, then y'all can do a show and y'all can fight this out. They agreed. And then while they were going in the Discord, Keem was in there basically kind of baiting a little bit the audience, trying to get some input on what happens or whatever. So let's go ahead and get into this. Obviously, our first clip is going to be Miss Glammy and Zay.
But here's the thing.
Jesus. Headphone warning. It just hit me, sorry. But we're going to get into this one and the frenemies, or friends turned enemies, whatever you want to call it. So let's see what we're talking about, see what happened. I didn't get to see all of this because my wife had me out shopping, and I was listening to it a little as much as I could, but I couldn't watch it. But we're going to see what happened and go from there. Remember, guys, headphone warning. Turn it down a little bit.
But here's the thing. Eric brings a valid point. The things that you brought to the docket, I don't give a fuck, Amy. The things that you brought to the docket were already talked about.
You interrupt me all the fucking time. You talk down to me.
Amy, you talk down to every single co-host on your show. You talk down to every single person on the show.
The more you're making yourself looking worse.
Do you see how we're having a calm conversation with you and you're spurging out on us?
Becky, do you have anything to say to defend?
Hi, Becky.
Hi, two things. Now, because pretty sure you were calling for pitchforks and yeah, get the bitch. But now all of a sudden you're like, oh, do you have anything nice to say? Yeah, you're two-faced.
Okay. So yes, I turned it down a little bit because it was glaring or blaring, whatever the word is. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So this kind of continues on, and we're going to get back into this one.
This is the same job.
Jesus. So we have our wartime reporter, Ms. Ziley, in the building. She hopped in there to do what she needed to do. We have Becky doing whatever she wants to do, like whatever. I'm not going to comment on that. And then obviously these two, Eric doesn't give a fuck. He's disengaged already. We have Glammy about to do what she needs to do, and Zay listening. So let's get into this one. Apparently there was some docket team chatter and docket team yelling. And just for those that don't know, there's always been a little bit of hostility towards the docket team. If I'm misrepresenting this, I'm sorry, but the way I interpreted this is they feel that the docket team is all Zay fans, and that if Zay left, the docket team would leave as well. So they feel there's no real, I guess, relationship between the docket team and the non-Zay cast. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this, or listen to this one as well.
This is the same docket team that you have said that you have threatened that we're going to leave.
No, they threatened to leave because they don't want to work for you. They threatened to leave because they don't want to work for you.
No, okay, so that's a lie right there, because you said, no, back off. You said that they were going to
back off. You're lying on people's names right now, Glammy, and I don't give a fuck if you're pissed off. Be pissed. You look like a fucking idiot right now. Okay.
So you think you're going to win the argument is by fucking me up.
I already won the argument because you look like a dumbass.
Wait,
I'm just sitting here like being a good boy while I'm being
You're fucking smirking because you know you're lying, Glammy.
Oh my god, because they ended up getting timed out because they were fighting for you in the main chat. You said that's why they're going to leave.
Who got timed out?
Your little friends that were on the docket team, you said that they were going to leave. And the reason was because they're your friends. That was what you had said in the beginning. Then you changed your story. This is the same.
So apparently there's no love lost between the docket team and Glammy. That's kind of what I'm picking up from this. Do you have any insight, ma'am?
So people in the docket team are threatening to leave because they don't like Glammy, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's confusing to me because at one moment she's saying like Glammy is barely even there. Glammy doesn't really do anything. And then like she's making it seem like Glammy is always there, but just being a nuisance of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's either she's always there and being a nuisance or she's never there. And like that's the problem. Because whenever people are saying like, hey, I want to leave because I don't want to work with you, usually it's because the person's always there and they're kind of being like a micromanager or something of the sort, not because they're not there. Because if they're not there, they're not an annoyance, you know? I think it's probably pretty annoying if like you don't have somebody there to like throw ideas and stuff like that. But the thing that I didn't like as well is like the whole like meetings aspect, because apparently they have like meetings in the morning that's like an hour long. And I'm just like,
no.
Do you really need a meeting that's like an hour? We literally just go live and we're like, hey, like, what's up? Here's the news. Here's LCU. Here's birds. Like, we don't need a meeting to do that.
So this is what I do, right? When I go through the docket in the morning, you know, I've been trying to be better about this to figure out what we want to talk about. You know, obviously the Daily Espresso, Seek has that on lock. That dude, it's beautiful the way he does that, you know, and that's kind of the start of the stream. Yeah. And then I'll go through the news to see kind of what they have in there to see what we want to touch on. But then it also depends on how much drama happened in the LCU the day prior. So I figure out how we want to balance that, you know, and then if the Daily Espresso goes a little bit longer, like today we were talking, it was an hour, right? So, you know, we then figure out kind of on the fly what the best LCU drama to deal with is. And just like today, I did the breaking news for the volcano because that's breaking. But, you know, I'll probably spend 30, 45 minutes before the show just going through the stuff that the docket team built for us. And then, you know, I ask if they can do anything else real quick, like specifically. And then we come on camera and do it. And that's it. But here's the thing, Beans. They don't have chemistry. They never had chemistry. And I told them before I hopped on the show, and I was like, look, y'all need to figure this out. What are your strengths and weaknesses, right? And this is when Boogie was their manager, and they never did that. And
nope.
I don't quote me on this, but this is just a feeling I have. There was a little bit of resentment between Zay and Eric and Glammy. I feel there was some resentment.
Mostly, yeah, so that's true, but I feel it's mostly against Glammy and Zay. Eric, I don't want to include Eric too much into this because I feel like Eric has been tainted in a way. Yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday, the tiny like mother inside me like came out as soon as he's like cursing and doing all this other jazz. I was just like, Eric, like, who are you? Because this is not Eric from a month ago. I'm glad that you're being more independent, but at the same time, like, what is all this profanity? Watch your profanity. Yeah, so that kind of got me. And also, oh my gosh, I started laughing my butt off the moment that Zay started talking about like, oh, well, how could you do this to me? Like, you started conspiring against us to take nerds away from us and like have a new cast. And I was just like, so we're not going to mention the part of you like completely taking Glammy's spot and acting like that's okay. Like, oh, well, we agreed that if like the moment ever came for one of us to take somebody else's spot, like we would understand that. And it's like, yeah, you would understand why they would do it, but at the same time, it's not a good thing. It's still a shitty thing to do.
Definitely.
But like, you did that and like you completely forget about that. And now that she's like doing this to you, you're just like, oh my gosh, conspirator. It's just like, girl, no.
Yeah.
You are not blameless in all of this.
Definitely
like, just the fact that there was something brewing underneath the surface of just like they always said that they were best friends, but they always hated each other underneath the surface because Zay was always the front man in everything. We can all agree. There is no doubt about it. Zay was always number one.
Yep.
Then there's Glammy, then there's Eric. Eric, because, you know, Zay is not that like connected to Glammy anymore. Because Glammy, what I would see whenever I saw Glammy, and that's why I hated her so much, is Zay would say a whole bunch of stuff, and then Glammy's just in the background like, yeah, okay, go off, queen. That's all Glammy did. But now that Zay and Glammy are not connected with each other, the new like henchman was Eric. And I'm not saying that to be mean against Eric, but that's just what happened. They had a closer connection, but it was still Zay number one. Eric is now number two. Glammy, they're trying to kick her out any way as possible. The fact that they're co-hosts, but they were just shitting on like a happy moment for Glammy, like, you guys are not friends. Stop saying that you're friends because you're not. It's obvious that you're not.
Not at all. And if you remember, when Glammy was on Milkers and all that, she couldn't do OBS and host, and she had a lot of issues. And they tried to put her in just a co-host role, not worrying about the producing side of it, right? And you know, that's why I was always like, hey, you need to figure out how to do this stuff too, because I never want you to be like, you know, you're unable to do it just in case. And Fridays, you do an amazing job with Batgirl. You've hosted streams before. You do awesome learning and all that. You're getting confident, like I said. So we all need to know the skills, so that way, you know, just in case something does happen, it's not like, oh shit, now what? You know what I mean? So I'm definitely happy you're learning all this stuff and getting a lot more comfortable with it. It's fucking beautiful. But when I was saying resentment, I feel that, you know, not saying that they hated they couldn't go to Fat Camp, but, you know, the fact that they felt Glammy wasn't doing a lot for nerds at Fat Camp. And I even mentioned that before on streams. I don't feel a lot of the other channels were taking advantage of everybody being in one spot, in one like cabin, house, whatever. Not a lot of people took advantage of that. And I wanted us to try and do that as much as possible. Granted, you know, I still feel bad we couldn't do the Roxy content, but that's because live was streaming all day. And since the internet was shit, I mean, what am I going to do? But, you know, I think they felt Glammy didn't try enough or try hard enough. And also the fans don't either. They think she was just there for the wedding and a vacation. Take that for what you will. But Justin Masters, again, for the $10. I love you, sir. As a cash cow for nerds, but not as a simp. I feel like it's just its own drama channel now, and I personally just like hearing their bad takes. I want to hear more bad takes to cringe at, or I unsub. So that is what, apparently that's what people think Nerds is going to be now. It's going to be a drama channel. Just drama.
Well, that's when they get their most numbers. That's when they get the most amount of money, whenever they do all this drama stuff. And I feel like, so this is something that Glammy was saying. She adopted it from Keemstar whenever she was at Fat Camp. But she was saying like, oh, the audience doesn't really know what they want from nerds, because people say like they want nerd stuff. But as soon as you give them nerd stuff, it's not as much profit as the drama and the other stuff. So that's why Glammy kind of wanted to take nerds and repurpose it into her own thing. But I think I agree with Justin Masters. Nerds was never truly about nerds. I mean, like, they would talk about some nerd things, but like the thing that people mostly liked is their bad takes on nerd topics. Because Eric had this talent of like just knowing everything, like even like a movie or a show, he like knew actors, he like knew everything about the show. Like, I don't have time to watch all these shows and movies and like know all this nerd knowledge, but he just had it in there like right off rip. Zay wasn't really a nerd. She might look like, you know, like e-girl, like nerdy-ish, but like she didn't really know a lot of nerd stuff. I think she was mostly like the Nintendo like fangirl. Like, she talked about the Switch a couple of times. I know they were speaking. Exactly. She's more like gamer girl-ish, you know, that sort of thing. And then Glammy was Glammy. That's all I can say.
Not much more to say on that.
Star Wars, you can only talk about Star Wars for a certain amount of time, but in general, like, people just like the bad takes and like talking about nerd stuff, but it was never truly about nerd stuff. And I know Keemstar is talking about like, hey, like, we shouldn't focus on the name so much, but I don't know. I like this new pairing though. Buff Weeb.
Yeah.
Weeb.
I'm so happy he finally got a show, man. And I think their dynamic is going to be interesting, Zay and Buff, because there's no love lost there. And I think that if they get a good like working relationship, still. Oh, Glammy Lambie's in chat. Good morning, Glammy. Thank you for stopping by the cafe. I think if they can harness their dislike for each other, but still maintain a show, but still do like the zingers to each other and like talk shit to each other, I think it's going to be successful. I do. I think it'll be good. We have the Eric and Glammy firing, so I want to watch that one really quick. And then there's one more video from Nerds I want to watch. But this is
this is
the sad part that even the boss man himself said he's not a fan of doing it like this. But before we get into that, Dead Score with the 5. Thank you, Dead Score. Zay took it as an advantage while Glammy was gone, starting to coax Eric as a tool with, quote, friendship. It's a win to see she lost her security blanket. We'll talk about that after the video, sir. Thank you very much, Dead Score. You and Karini, bro, I love y'all. Y'all are beautiful people. Thank you. Oop, wrong one.
This part of the job just sucks. But change has to come. And Eric, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go.
Okay, fine.
You're not going to lose your host role. You'll still be a host. And if some other show happens, you know, then you could definitely, you know, some other opportunity happens, we could definitely get you on there. But
will I still get paid for the month of April?
Not April, March. Yes, the month you just did. But we appreciate you, King. You're a legend, and you know, you're still welcome in the LCU. Just Nerds didn't work out. Sorry, bud.
So this may be a little bit of a hot take, right? Eric really showed no emotion when he got fired. He could have been shocked, could have been a lot of things. I know he said he has autism, so maybe that kind of played a part into it as well, but maybe he just kind of went with it and said, fuck it. But I just felt there was no fight. There was no fight there. And the other thing, I said this in Discord yesterday, which some people agreed, some people called me a shithead for this, but Eric has what they call the main character syndrome. And he has this false sense of authority because he kept saying he would fire Glammy. And he thinks he's entitled to a certain amount of power. And the other day when he was on live with Brantley and them, he tried to ask Brantley 3 or 4 times if she was that sad that he did not go, specifically him. And the only thing I'm saying is it doesn't look good to do those things. I've talked to Eric before about the other stuff when he was first introduced, just trying to help him out. I'm not trying to talk shit by any kind of means. And I understand that some people, because of how he thinks and does all that or whatever, people need to be treated the same. People need to be treated as adults, as free thinkers, and not with like kid gloves. When I say kid gloves, not talking to him as a child, talk to him as a grown ass man. So that was my only advice to Eric, is calm down with the self-entitlement, because none of us have a say in anything. None of us have the power to fire anybody. None of us have the power to ask somebody 3-4 times about them not being there specifically, especially the boss man's girl, right? That's just some advice I was trying to give him. Some people said they appreciated it. Some people said I was being an asshole because of his mental capacity. But I said we're supposed to treat everyone the same. It would be more of a detriment if I talked to him like a child. And I'm not doing that because he is a grown-ass man. And he is a free thinker. He thinks for himself.
So that is a great point. I think he was built up by Zay. I think she thought that she was doing a really, really good thing by always like, yes, Eric, you're like the king, you're the Rizzler, you're all this other stuff. And it really brought up his confidence. But once she started talking about like, oh, well, you're better than Glammy, you are better than anybody else, it's just going to be me and you. You, like there are some good parts to that, but then it just went a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
And now he has an ego. And I think I was talking to you and the docket team at some point that the downfall of nerds was because everybody got such a big ego for some reason. Like it's just dripping with ego to the point that like everybody thinks that they are main character, that like they're not disposable. We are all disposable in the eyes of Keemstar.
100%.
If he wanted to jump in here and be like, hey, Beans, Epic Brady, I don't know, somebody is going to replace you, he can do that and he wouldn't give two shits about it. And just the fact that like not only did the main host of Nerds have ego, the docket team have ego, everybody just has so much ego, and it's just like that's not, you have to think every day is going to be your last on your show, and you need to think that what can I do next to make sure that the show succeeds, that we make more views or we make more money, because that's just the mentality that you need for the lol-cow universe. We are always going to have also that sense of like, we're doing this for the members, we're doing this for the viewers. Like we want to make sure that we are doing what Keemstar wants, which is think about the numbers, but we also want to think about the people who support us. And I think that's a method of not having so much ego, because you can think about numbers and think that you're doing good, but you can also think about really creating your community. And I think that's why we have the coffee cult. Like we give so much special attention to our group of people that support us, that that you know, like it's more like a caring thing instead of like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel so much imbued with ego, because ego just feels so negative. I feel like we created our community with like love and like gentle care and like, hey, we're gonna do this for you. We're gonna do giveaways. We're gonna do things like that. I see you. Shut the fuck up.
It's beautiful.
Anyways, but in general, like we love our community, and we will build you guys up in a way that feels calm and nurturing and love, but we're not going to build you up saying like, you are the only person here that can do this and blah, blah. We're not going to build your ego. We're going to build a sense of community, because there's no I in team. And I feel like they feel like there's an I in Nerds, and that's not how it is. Like, it just makes me so viscerally angry when people like just think that they're the shit and they're not.
Yep.
Like, bro,
agreed.
Tomorrow could be your last day. Can you think about that instead of thinking that you are irreplaceable, that you deserve something? Like you like, this is going to be very controversial.
Oh shit.
This is going to be very controversial.
Oh shit.
This is probably going to get me some hate.
Oh shit.
They're probably going to talk about me in Nerds today.
Oh shit.
But I built up Zay whenever she was on the gaming channel, whenever she was volunteering. She did so much good. But I feel like that good that she was doing was not because like, oh, I'm going to do this because I love the community. Like, it probably started off that way, but it turned into, I deserve a host spot because I did so much for you. And that should never be like the mentality ever.
I agree.
And I think that's why she also got so mad whenever Buff Wee was added to, you know, the host, because it's like, she feels like he didn't really do anything to deserve it. That's why she was saying you were sucking off Rewind so hard. It's like, no, he has entertainment value. He's so entertaining. He's so funny. Yeah. And just because he didn't spend like a whole month like volunteering as like a host in order to get his spot doesn't make him any less than you. Like, stop with the ego. Just do your job and entertain people, because that should be number one. And then number two, even though Keemstar is going to say number one is numbers, number two is your audience, maybe switch it up a couple of times in order to get the audience that you need and not have so much ego.
No, I'm with you. But the thing is, if, like I said before, I look at this as a hobby. I look at this as something I want to do, a creative outlet. And if you do good content, the support comes naturally, right? That's why I try not to focus on that too much. But Fanto with the 5 British pounds, Zay created a monster in Eric. Zay in many ways is the most childish person on Nerds, taking over and kicking people off the show. Lessons learned, ? So with that, and then also Death Score's comment with Eric being the safety blanket. That's why she didn't want the new cast, because Buff ain't that dude, bro. Buff is going to give her shit. He's going to go at her, and people love that guy, and he's a very alpha personality. So that dynamic is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I think they could create golden magic if they play into that and kind of use their dislike for each other for content. I think they do a great job doing that. Great job. But one more video I wanted to watch was was Glammy. But I mean, we really don't need to play that one because we kind of know what happened there. But this is the one video I wanted to watch that I kind of heard about. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I just kind of want to see the insight on this one. Maybe you can give me some insight.
Being a member of the docket team, I'm going to clarify that I'm straight up. I'm a little thrown back by the new change in dynamic, but I'm not going to say I'm not willing to work with it, but I do need to see that you're serious about the job, because if you're not serious about it, I'm not going to contribute to your success.
Then I will replace you.
That's okay.
I will say,
but like I said,
so we already have someone on the docket team saying, you know, I'll leave if you're not serious about this. I think Buff Weeb is going to be 100% serious because he's been talking about being on Nerds, and he's a nerdy person and what he can bring to the show. I know some people in Discord were trying to flip it about his appearance, which I'm not going to go there. I don't think that's the case because I haven't seen evidence to that, which I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it. I just, I don't think that's a good look if your docket team is already going in there saying fuck you, I'm not going to work for you if you're not serious about it, when he probably is the most serious about it, especially nerd concepts. What do you think, Beans?
So I think I touched upon this just a little bit yesterday and today. But this is going to sound so mean.
Oh shit, another hot take from Beans.
I'm trying not to be so spicy. You don't have to be here. If you're just going to right off the start, you don't even know the dude, and you're already hey, if you're not going to bring your 110%, I'm not going to work for you. You're already saying right there that you don't want to work for them in general. It just seems I understand that Zay kind of has her community, and she built off the docket team. So they're mostly going to be on her side, but you don't have to be here. You're volunteering. Don't have such what's it called? I can't even find the word right now because it makes me so but yeah, right off rip, you're gonna set this up for failure because you're gonna have this animosity towards somebody that's just coming into your team. Just saying that this dude's first day, not even first day, day 0, and you're saying that it's going to create some sort of underlying a
rift,
a rift, exactly. And I think a lot of people wanted to mention the context behind this. So I think what's his name, Fat and Handsome Gamer, I don't like talking about people who aren't hosts that much. I don't like dogging on them because they didn't truly sign up for all this hate or but to be fair, he was kind of the replacement or the temporary replacement for Pharaoh. So he kind of did sign up to be a host at some point.
Yeah. He puts himself on camera.
That's why a lot of
exactly.
He puts himself on camera, and he wanted to be kind of the temporary host, and maybe he thought that he could get a chance to be a permanent host, maybe. But that's why a lot of people said like, oh, this dude has a lot of ego because he was the temporary host and he thought that maybe if somebody got fired that he would be the first one in line. But obviously that's not it. And all of a sudden here comes Buff Weeb being the type of person that he is, just, you know, entertaining, funny. He's a looker for some people, you know? He didn't get his chance and maybe that rubbed him the wrong way. I don't want to put words in people's mouth, but that's how it came off to a lot of people. So just don't do that. If you're part of a docket and you're just like, hey, just because this new guy is coming along and I'm going to have like this animosity towards him, just leave. You don't have to be there. Even if you like want to support the show. We had a couple people on our docket team that I don't know why they left. I don't want to say I don't care because I do care. Like I have an attachment.
It was a time thing. They just didn't have the time that they wanted to dedicate to it. They were honest and they talked about it. So then, you know, whenever Karini and Sterling reached out, I was like, hey, how do y'all feel about these ladies? And we all agreed and they came on and they've been beautiful.
Yeah. So in general, like, we're not going to have any animosity towards any of our docket members. And I feel like so far, every single one of our docket members have been like the chillest, the coolest, and the best docket members in general. But yeah, it's just like, dude, like you're already setting this up for failure. I feel like Buff Weeb can really whip people into shape. Like he does not play around. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen with
Gordon Ramsay.
Grimm. And yeah, if you ever seen Hell's Kitchen, they don't play around. It's about teamwork there. You have to be communicating every second. Once communication fails, everything fails. And Buff Weeb being a chef in real life, he said it perfectly yesterday when he was mentioning like, hey, I'm a chef. When we work in the kitchen, we have to have communication. And I'm like really big on teamwork. And this is our show. Like you're going to have to change your vocabulary. This is us. This is our show. We are a team. I don't care if you hate me. We're in this together. I freaking love that shit. And that's the type of energy that I love, especially from Buff Weeb coming into Nerds. And I barely watch Nerds. If I watch Nerds, it's because like I need something to listen to while I'm driving or like I have nothing better to do. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just like, I usually don't have time. So when I have the time, I'll watch it. But now I want to like out of my way, watch Nerds because I know the type of energy that Buff Weeb is going to bring into it. I don't care if I'm busy. I'm going to be listening to it in the background because now it's going to be funny. It's going to have like that twinge of drama that I want because Zay and Buff Weeb aren't like they're kind of like oil and water type thing. But also like it's going to be nerdy shit because Buff Weeb in the name, he's a weeb. And I know that yesterday Zay was like kind of like, oh my god, like these anime references you're doing is so cringe. Let him be cringe. This is Nerds. And the fact that I got some of the references that he was making was like top tier for me. I'm just like, oh, he made an Attack on Titan reference? Hell yeah, hit that like button and subscribe because this is Nerds now. Facts.
You're very vocal today. I love it. I love it.
I think it's because I'm so awake, like in the morning.
Beautiful.
Like
I'm telling you.
I have to wake up in the morning, do my job, and then come here instead of like just rolling out of bed and like turning on my computer. I think like that's a really good thing that I'm gonna have to start, even if I leave my in real life job because the schedule's not really working for me. Maybe I'm still deciding. But in general, I have to wake up earlier in order to have like that energy. I have to kickstart my day. As the quote said, now I have to go back to the quote. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. So I need to get my day started in order to get ahead in cafe. Look at me. Right. I'm making references and shit.
I can't.
Hell yeah.
So real quick, Zero Dead said, why do these small shows need a docket team? The stream is only 2 hours. If people want to call this a job, then spend another 5 hours spending your content. So here's the thing. I asked in the chat when the cafe started and we had volunteers. So I was like, thank you so much. And I tell the docket team all the time, y'all the reason we have a great show because they build the show for us. We just present the show. We're presenters of their work and they are amazing people. And seriously, thank you all for what you do. It means the world. So we're going to skip Milkers because we got 25 minutes. I think we have some people and members waiting. I want to bring them in so they can say their piece. But
just to give like a little thing about milkers. So milkers, Roxy is like a chain smoker. I don't remember the last time I saw her put a cigarette down during fat camp. I'm not joking. She would literally start a cigarette, end it, do another one, end it, do another one. Chain smoker 100%. So I guess like now they're trying to make her stop smoking or something. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't really care.
Facts. All right. So 2 things I want to watch from live before we respond to it is Keem on the Nerds docket team. And then, where was it at? And then when Keem talked about Eric's messages with him. So we're going to watch those 2 clips, and then we're going to get straight into Rewind, watch 3 of those clips, and then we'll bring in the members waiting people. So let's go and get into this. Let's get into this one. Let me share the screen so that way you can check it out. I haven't seen any of this because me and my wife were at dinner. So let me check this out.
Like one of the docket members of Nerds like came in and he was all with his chest out like, fucking Glammy doesn't do anything. And this is a docket member, by the way. Glammy doesn't do anything and Buff better fucking work more than Glammy and like all this other stuff. I was like, bitch, you're a fucking volunteer. Like it was insane, dude. It was insane. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. But they're letting apparently just random people that run their docket team fucking dictate like all kinds of shit and have all this power. And it's
because of Zay. They're Zay's little cronies.
Yeah, but what can you think of a single moment on Nerds where they're going over the docket and they're like, damn, this story was interesting? I can't. Like I'm sorry,
no, their docket team is terrible.
Dude,
fire the docket team, fire Zay.
Dude, the Nerd docket team, you guys fucking blow, dude. The fact that you guys like one of the
man. I love Keem's hot takes sometimes. All right, so let's get into this one.
Can I read our DMs because they're hilarious? I'll just read what I posted. All right.
Just try not to embarrass me like you did.
I do feel a little bad for Eric in this moment.
Yeah.
Him saying that, I do feel kind of bad for him, but let's
continue. Because Discord was already kicking me down, and I really don't want to relive.
All right, I hear you, Eric, but this is too funny not to share with people. Okay, I said I never leaked DMs, but I had to. I had to share this with everyone. So after Eric got fired, he hit me up in the DMs. He goes, "Is this an early April Fool's Day prank, or am I actually fired?" And then he called, but I missed the call. Then he said, wait, I just saw the new title for Locale Live. Is this a ploy to make me the 3rd host of Locale Live?
Honestly, that was what my mind was going to at that time, because I did check the date, and it's just like, I was going through all the stages of grief. Like,
it sucks, dude. If I was in...
All right. So I do feel bad for Eric because I don't think he really saw that happening. But again, bro, Eric, if you're watching, this goes back to what I was saying. You have to learn how to like read a room, and you have to understand where you're at, what goes on, because this is a drama community, and you can't really put yourself in the crosshairs by doing things like that. The easiest advice I can give you is before saying something like that, think of what the reaction could be. If you think it's going to be a negative reaction, just don't do it. Just don't. Because this type of thing happens. I hate seeing that happen to you. And, you know, it is what it is. And I don't know. I feel bad for you, bro. But again, you got to get rid of the main character syndrome. It's not all about you. Not everything is a ploy to get you somewhere. Not everything is, you know, going to be the next best opportunity. Going to Bean's point, I think Zay and everyone building your head up and putting you on this pedestal has led to that. And I understand it. But you got to come down, bro. Because shit like that's going to happen. And I hate seeing it. What you got, Beans?
What I got. What did you expect from Keemstar? Especially if you tell him, no, don't do this. He's probably gonna do it because he thinks it's funny. That was probably the most nicest firing I ever seen from Keemstar. I think usually he starts off with like, oh, like, poor you, like, I'm sorry. And then like he goes into, but you suck type of thing.
Yeah.
He didn't really do that with Eric. He was very, very nice. He did kind of like drag the dagger a little too deep with the whole like thing, but it was a little funny, like thinking that, funny. You know, it was a little funny. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just, these are the kind of things that you have to expect, not only from Keemstar, but being a host. And if things get too much for you, you should always turn off the computer. Maybe like if you have to delete Discord, because I know a lot of people, even if they have like an app on their phone and they don't go on it intentionally, they still have the urge. So like deleting Discord for a little bit, like just, this is online. This is the internet. The moment that you turn off your computer or turn off your phone, it doesn't exist. Or it technically does exist, but like if it's not in front of your face, it doesn't exist in your mind, right? It doesn't render if you want to be nerdy about it. But in general, yeah, I feel bad for Eric. He's fired from Nerds, but he's not fired from the LCU. He still has his host role. He can still come on shows. I don't mind having him on like every once in a while just to check on him. If we have like some nerdy topics, that would be good. Check up on his Lego movie or whatever it's called. Like now he has time for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still going to be around. Goodbye isn't goodbye forever. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to come of this. There's a lot of turmoil in the LCU right now. Usually there is rainbows after a storm. We'll see what that rainbow is, because apparently they were talking about having a third host on Locale Live, and apparently Rastov is going to be hosting some Locale Live in the next coming days.
Facts.
I don't know why. Maybe we can go into that a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be the last section before we bring the fans in. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do Locale Live. Just to fuck with Keem and Boogie. I wouldn't want to go to Locale Live. I would just want to do it for like 1 or 2 times just to fuck with them. Because, you know, they see like the cafe Ken and all that. They got a little glimpse of primetime Ken. But just going in there and wreaking havoc and just shitting on Boogie, it'd be beautiful. It'd be so fucking beautiful. All right. So, Rewind. Let's go ahead. We got 4 videos from Rewind. We're going to check those out before we talk. I just want to kind of speed run those because I want to give the people in waiting, they've been there for a little bit, I want them to be able to give us their opinion. But there's some trouble in paradise with Rastov and Twiggy, and we're going to get into that. Rewind actually went long to handle this into Aussie's time. So let's get this figured out real quick. Sorry, chat. I'm a boomer.
Play chicken. He's playing chicken. That's what he's.
I'm not allowed to fucking talk to the fans. I'm not allowed to crash out anymore. Like it just.
Rastov, I told you to go talk to Keem, did I not?
And I didn't say not to talk to the fans. I was more talking about parasocial stuff.
Bro, you literally said I wasn't allowed to heart people's comments anymore because they were you said I was backstabbing you when I've literally been doing that since the beginning.
Also
you said that live, motherfucker. You literally said that on the stream.
I said we don't like. Why are we hearting every single comment? Like we shouldn't even acknowledge.
We aren't. I do. If you take the time to write a comment on our fucking channel, I'ma like that shit. I'ma heart that shit so that you know I read your fucking comment. It's been that way since the start, dude.
Right, I'll be right back.
I'm so fucked off right now.
I'm
beautiful, and it just gets even better. This is kind of fucked in my opinion.
I thought we were laughing. I remember you like being like, "Look at Rastov, he's crashing out in my DMs," and you were showing me DMs. I do remember that.
Like,
right?
Bro.
Yeah, because I wanted.
I couldn't imagine showing any messages between me and you to anybody. I couldn't do it. Let's continue.
Our messages are boring either way.
They really
we
are.
like to talk like face to face, and usually
Yes.
it's like, "Hey, did you receive the mail that I sent you?"
Yeah, exactly. But all right, here's look at Zali's face, bro. Even she's in disbelief.
Oh, that needs to be
Wanted to know-
clipped.
Yes, that's gonna be used for a thumbnail, I promise you. But let's continue.
Like how to move forward, because at one point when we
Zali's
talked,
froze.
I wasn't sure if there was even anything to go back to when it came to the like
Look at Buff Weeb. I can't.
having a co-host.
There's just no way ever I would have told you to fire him.
Well, I told you and him that I would never want him fired and that I couldn't host the show without this dynamic.
I literally said to him that I was going to talk to you about this game, and he said I wouldn't give him ammo because he's going to fuck with you any way he can. Like, and he said that you might just fire me on the spot if I tried to talk to you about this.
I thought we were.
I don't see that happening, but let's do it.
To hurt the show.
I
If we
love
have
how
issues,
you're having all these
No, you
conversations
hurt the
with
show.
Keem and telling everybody about them. That's
You
hilarious.
hurt the fucking show, right? It was never a problem until the frequency of hate for you increased. Before that, it was totally fine because it was engagement. But as soon as you were a fucking cunt to the fans and they started hating you, oh, now it's bad for the show. No, you're bad for the show. You're bad because we lost crowns and pay-per-views and fans
retarded.
because you called them. No, you treated them like shit. Like
No, I called
you
one
were
fan
fucking rude to
retarded
Gamer of
and
the
you made a
Dam the
big
other
deal
day, and he
about
didn't
it.
come back. Like, dude,
I was rude to
like-
Gamer because he jumped into our show 6 times.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a fucking prick about it, dude. These
I
people
wasn't.
keep us on the
I
air.
wasn't a prick. I told him that to not do that
Gentlemen.
again, and then he did it again.
All right, one more video.
Sir, I have some bad news and some good news for you.
Oh no.
The bad news is Twiggy will not be taking a week off of Aussie. You're going to be taking a week off of Aussie.
Oh, okay.
And the good news is you are going to be with me and Boogie on Lolcow Live for the next week.
What?
There you go.
There we go. Problem solved.
Two
What
birds,
the
one
fuck?
stone.
Keem is trying to get some more
All right.
crowns on Lolcow Live.
We're gonna get all
Yeah.
Sir.
All right. I'm gonna give my quick hot take real quick, and I'm gonna let you go, and then we're gonna bring in Bama and Lucy Tina, Lucy Tina. I told Twiggy this in person, and I don't mind sharing this with everyone either. I think he's trying a little too hard with this character of like not giving a fuck, but then when he's serious, he's the same person, so no one can tell the difference. I think people see him as a joke as far as doing those things, and they never know when they're getting the one true Twiggy. I think at Fat Camp, he was doing a lot, but he was doing a little too much when he didn't need to. I think he let some of the stuff get to his head a little bit, and I know him and Rastov were beefing, but this goes back to the main character syndrome. And I even said that when Roxy and Savage were recording their video for members only, he had to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
He just had to jump in. So I'm not saying this to be an asshole to you, Twiggy, because you helped us out a lot with the members only video. You really did, and I really appreciate you for that. But I think you need to reevaluate your character, and I think you need to use this as a reset for who you want to be on camera, because it's not working. It's just not working, bro. And whether it's you and Rastov or you and someone else, I think you need to refigure out how you want to portray yourself to the audience, because not a lot of people like you right now, bro. And I know you say you want to feed into it. I know you say you like it, but I think now's not the time to be that. Now's the time to see who you really want to be and have a separation of Twiggy on camera, Twiggy being serious, and make it a lot more transparent. So that's all I got to say. Miss Beans, take it away.
So just to be quick, so not only was he bugging Rastov, he was also bugging Nightmare, if you remember the first couple of nights that happened at Fat Camp.
Oh yeah.
I think that Twiggy knows that he can bring entertainment value, especially like the whole like poking the bear with a stick type of entertainment value. He knows how to do that. He knows how to do it very well. A way to get back at him sometimes when he does it, kind of like a joking way, but also a lot of truth to it, is I would always call him little bro. Or I would say like you have a little brother energy. And that's like my way to kind of disengage, or not like to engage, but not like be triggered about it. I would just be like, oh, that's just his little brother energy. I think a lot of people have to do the same. I think Twiggy really knows how to push people's buttons. People forget how Twiggy came up. If you don't remember, Twiggy was part of the lolcow community. He started off as a fan, and he started off as a fan that would do a lot of trolling. So him being a host does not change who Twiggy is. He's going to be a troll, and now that he has power, he's going to troll even harder than he did before. So that's something that a lot of people have to keep in mind. Twiggy is a troll, and he's going to do anything to be on top. He does have some main character energy, but you kind of have to know how to navigate around it. When it comes to Ozzy, I hope that Ozzy is okay, because I like both Twiggy and Rostov as hosts in general, but it feels like there has been just too many bumps in the road for the road to actually be a working road. So they're either going to have to work in order to make the road drivable, I guess. But in general, it's just, I think there's too much happening for them to have like a working relationship. They're going to have to do like some really hard work in order for Ozzy to be Ozzy again with Twiggy and Rostov. But we'll see what's going to happen.
Facts. And the last thing I'll say, I don't know if there's any repairing that relationship. I truly don't think so. I think it's too far gone, especially after Fat Camp. All right, let's bring in Boma and Lucy Tina for their opinions. We got about 8 minutes left. We appreciate y'all. And then we'll be sending you to Madhouse. So Boma and Lucy Tina, welcome to the cafe. How you doing today?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on one second.
I love your background.
Hey, can y'all
Thanks,
hear me too?
cozy.
Yeah, we got you, Boma.
Yes.
All right. So
It's either. Sorry.
no,
my
you're
fault.
good.
My fault. Quick question.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I just go no camera? I'm at work right now and I got my work uniform on.
You're good, bro. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
So, Lucy Tina, ladies first as always. What's your opinion of things? What's going on in the brain of yours?
All right, there's a lot going up
Oh
on
boy.
there. But okay. I want to preface, I really didn't watch Nerds before Fat Camp. I didn't really care about it. There's just too many other shows, so I want to preface that. I really just I didn't have an opinion of Zay at first, because I didn't think she was she wasn't relevant enough to have an opinion of. But once she started shitting on Glammy is really when I started to realize like what a shitty human being she is and how fake she is. Zay took Glammy being at Fat Camp, as an angle to kind of cut her out. And that one day that Glammy didn't show up on stream, Keem said that Glammy did not have to show up that day, but Zay didn't know that, and Zay proceeded to talk shit about Glammy that whole entire stream. So I wanted to call her out on that. I tried to go up there yesterday, but she didn't want to pull me up because she doesn't like criticism. But I'll give him a couple minutes to. I don't want to take up the whole time.
Nah, Mr. Boma, what you got for us, sir?
I really want to say, I got 2 points really that I want to just get out.
Yeah, go ahead.
In terms of Eric of being built up by Zay, I kind of disagree with that, because I don't think Eric was built up by Zay entirely. And to be honest with you, I don't really even think that there's too much evidence to say that Eric was being controlled by somebody, because by all accounts, by all public accounts, Eric's the one who brought it to Zay first, talking about, yo, if it comes down to two hosts, we should cut Glammy out. Zay said this online on the live stream. Eric never refuted it, right? That's one of the things too.
Okay.
And another thing too, everybody was building Eric up. It wasn't just Zay. It was Boogie doing it. You know what I'm saying? It was King. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was everybody. And I even went into Nerds VC one time and I said, yo, bro, this is going to be a problem, bro. Because if you keep thinking this dude can do things without impunity, he's going to think that he's going to be infallible, right? And then it's really going to become a problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. Very, very good point,
That is
sir.
a great point.
I didn't even think about that. You're 100% right on that one.
And the other thing too, I got to talk a little bit about Fat and Handsome Gamer. I fuck with Fat and Handsome Gamer. We talked about wrestling a couple times, but the energy, even when he walked it back, bro, like I'm a young dude, and I know when somebody's trying to sun the fuck out of me, you know what I'm saying? And that was definitely the energy that Fat and Handsome Gamer came up. Because when Buff Weed retaliated with the, all right, bro, it's cool, I'll replace you. Fat and Handsome Gamer was quiet for a good 5 seconds. He didn't know what to say because he didn't think Buff Weed would say something like that.
Yeah. No, I think
that's. Go ahead, Kay.
I was say, no, you good. I was gonna say real quick with Buff Weeb coming in, he's definitely gonna be a dominant personality there, and he has fans that'll gladly come help him at any point in time. So I hate to say no docket team member is safe, but I think we're kind of at that point right now.
See, this is why I love this idea of bringing on members in order to talk about this stuff, because they both had some super great points.
Yeah.
That we didn't even think of. So for example, Bomba, I don't know if he's actually here, but for me, he's right here. Bomba, he said that everybody was building Eric up, and that is a great point. I think that a lot of people, at least this is what I got from what was going on. Zay was sitting in a room, and I'm not saying this is her intention. This is just what is going to be perceived to a lot of people. She was sitting in her room and she's like, who's the weakest link that we can get rid of without a lot of kickback from Discord? Glammy, because if I do this to Eric, a lot of people are going to say certain things about me. So I'm not saying this is what she was doing. That's just how it's going to be perceived by a lot of people. The fact that we were building up Eric so much, because, even I did it because I didn't see anything wrong with Eric. But the fact that we were building up Eric so much, he kind of got a lot of ego, and that's our fault. But at the same time, bro, it really impacted people. And then the fact that what you said about the docket team member, he came in with a lot of big dick energy. He was like, yo, this is, I work on Nerds, and if you're gonna come in here, you better bring the heat. And the fact that somebody whipped out freaking 9 inches in front of him, he was like, oh shit, I wasn't prepared for this.
Hey.
That's
the whole giant
energy if you're gonna give it,
the whole giant
that sounds really wrong.
The whole joint with Fat and Handsome Gamer is just again, I fuck with Fat and Handsome. I think he a cool dude, but it's just bro, you was definitely trying to sun this dude for whatever reasons. I think a lot of people are trying to put intentions behind it that weren't there, and I think that's just equally as stupid. You know what I'm saying? But from the outside looking in, this dude was definitely trying to sun the fuck out of Buff Weed.
Facts. All right, so we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes left. I want Lucy T to give her final opinion. Thank you so much, Mr. Bama. Thank you for coming in. We'll definitely talk to you later. Thank you, sir. All right.
Yeah, I hope he comes around more.
Definitely. All right, 2 minutes.
Really
it's all you.
Okay. I really think that she kept calling him out for being cringe when everything that she does is cringe. I'm sorry. And the fat and handsome gamer guy, he knew he was wrong right after he said it because he was completely silent. And then 5 minutes later in chat, he was like, please bring me back up. Please bring me back up. So he could clear it up. And he knew he was wrong. But
definitely.
That's really all I have to say.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you. We got 1 minute left, Miss Means. We got to close this out. I'm sorry. I don't want Madhouse to
Yeah,
get
we do
mad
got
at
to
us.
close it out. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Lucy Tina, for coming in. We'll definitely have more people on tomorrow so they can share their opinions to give more time. But we're going to send you guys over to Madhouse. Have a great day. Enjoy your... Is the redirect in, Beans?
Yes, I did that while you were talking about the other stuff.
You're awesome. Thank you for that one. All right, guys. We love you. Take care. Till next time.